Well, hello, 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 and welcome back. Y'all know what time it is. It's Wednesday and it's 6 o'clock on Pacific Standard Time. And y'all know what that means. It's time for Boss Talk with Sean LeRae. Welcome back, y'all. It's Wednesday and it's Hump Day, and here we are again with Boss Talk with your girl, Sean LeRae. Thank you for coming back today, and if you've not been here before, then welcome to Boss Talk. And go ahead and hit that button down there and subscribe. And click the bell so you'll get a reminder every time we go live. We go live every Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central Time, and that's 9 o'clock on the East Coast. So please, in and Yes, indeed. Thank you. Thank you. And if you're out there, say hi in the chat. We are looking forward to seeing you. Hello, Mr. Seals, to everyone and everything. I'm about to listen to Boss do her thing. Oh, how sweet. I love you for that. Thank you. It's good to have you back, kind sir. And I know you've already sent that link out. So thank you for that. And a LinkedIn user says, Child Bella, and Child Bella right back at you. Thank you. What's your name? And thank you for tuning in to Boss Talk. And if you have not been here before, then welcome. And go ahead and click that little button, that little subscribe button, so that you can come back again. And click the bell so that you'll be alerted when it's time for Boss Talk. So I am very excited. As you many of you out there know, I am constantly on a health and wellness journey. I am a licensed marriage family therapist and a transformational performance coach. I am a trauma recovery specialist. And oh my gosh, Miss Lisa, hello, darling. Mwah! Thank you for tuning in. How are you? Are you still living in Italy, girl? Please tell me. I am so excited to have you on tonight. I think of you so often. Lisa used to be my running buddy. When there was somewhere to go, Lisa and I would get there. Let me tell you, we have adventures from the Hollywood Bowl to tiny little Italian spots throughout the city. And my girl has been living in Italy. So I love it. You must be fluent in Italian by now, girl. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Yvonne. Welcome to Boss Talk. Thank you. Is this your first time on? And let us know in the chat if this is your first time coming on. I miss you too, Miss Lisa, girl. Let me know where you are over there because, girl, you know, I am on the road these days. I was in London and France in September, but I am always trying to get somewhere. Oh, you're in South Florida now. Okay. Well, that's easy to get to. I actually have a trip that I purchased for Orlando. So we'll have to talk. Yes, indeed. I'd love to see you and have some adventures again. So you all know that I am the owner and executive clinical director of Living Loved Pathways to Holistic Healing. And that means that I believe in healing the whole person. And so though I am a mental health clinician, I am always involving myself for my clients with holistic healing measures, because I believe that if you come in with a mental health issue, anything that's going on with you physically will impact your mental health, and anything going on with you mentally can as well impact your physical health. And so I have started changing my diet, the way that I eat, to combat some of the things that a woman of a certain age might encounter in life, as well as just I want to stay healthy. I want to live a long time living and loving this life. And my motto is live loved. And that means that you're living in the space of really taking care of yourself, mind, body, and spirit. So I had the opportunity to, oh, Yvonne is Miss Flossie's friend. Well, you must be an amazing person, because I had the gift and honor and pleasure of meeting Flossie in San Francisco. We were there to do some work. And I got to tell you, we had to learn a lot. So we had to do these modules, right? And so everyone was everywhere at a computer in a little cubicle, head to the computer doing modules. And y'all know I got ADHD, I can't sit still. So I had to get up. And when I got up, I went into the little area where I could get some libations, and I got some coffee. And I said to a lady, I said, "Oh, there's coffee here." And she said, "No, I'm having tea." And I said, "Oh." And we started to talk, and her energy was beautiful. She was beautiful, is beautiful, and we just connected. And as we connected, I found out more about her, and she told me her story. And her story is what we're going to talk about tonight. And this is somebody who learned how to heal herself. And I so love that. So I can't wait for y'all to meet Miss Flossie. Svetlana, hello there. Welcome to Boss Talk, and thank you for tuning in. And I 100% concur. Flossie is the absolute best. You will not meet anyone with better energy and a beautiful smile that just lights up the world, and a beautiful spirit as well. Ah, you're with Mama. Okay, Lisa, got it, got it. And you were just in Orlando last weekend. Well, send me a little message on LinkedIn with all your particulars, and we will connect, my darling. I'm so happy to hear from you and to see you on tonight. So, listen, Boss Talkers, I have told you a little bit about Miss Flossie, but I want to bring her on. So, I want to tell you more about her. And I have to tell you, the name that I gave her is Fabulous Flawless Flossie. And so her actual name is Flossie Jama, and she is a critical care RN BSN for 29 years. Now, y'all, I got to tell you this. I told someone that she was probably in her early to mid 40s. So, she couldn't have been all that at 10, right? So, she is an Amazon best-selling author of her book, Village Vibes: Shockingly Simple Ways to Stop Autoimmune Disease. Details the book details the successful reversal of her autoimmune diagnosis, which happened in 2015, with a deep passion to empower, and inspire the community. She has contributed and donated to several community projects. Her mission of passion extends far among the community. Her registered trademark of her brand, Flossie's Amazing Turmeric Tea, is helping many with various ailments and inflammation reduction. She has been featured on the Own Your Now show, impacting 24/7. STL, and Fox 2 TV, among many. Flossie invites you to join her turmeric tea family. The family is filled with love, support, fun, and restoration. Your health in a bottle, cooked fresh every Monday. So, welcome to TTM, which is Turmeric Tea Monday. So, Boss Talkers, without another word from me, please welcome my new dear friend, Fabulous, Flawless Flossie.
Oh my goodness, this is amazing. That was so.
Well, welcome, darling. Oh, Svetlana, thank you, sweetheart. She says, your smile is gorgeous too. That's so
Yes,
sweet.
yes,
Thank
Lana
you.
is my coach. Yes, she is my
Ah,
trainer. She is my trainer. She
I
keeps
love
my, you
that.
know what?
Now, what kind of trainer is she for you?
Workout.
A workout girl. Okay. So you not only take care of your inside health, but you're working out to take care of your physical outside health as well. I
Yes,
love
it's all a lifestyle. We keep it simple, keep it real, and just have fun with it every single day. And she does that for me.
Oh, I love it. I love it. Mine is Yolanda of Yolanda Martin Fitness. So love her. And I also have to shout out my Pilates coach and wellness coach, which is Dr. Casey. So, we all have these people in our lives because they keep us healthy and whole. And I love that. So Yvonne says, wow, she's such an amazing and inspirational woman. God truly connected us at the perfect time 1 month ago. So Yvonne is a new friend. I met you 1 month ago, actually. So that's great. And that just shows that everywhere you go, you spread your light and love. And I just totally love that about you, Flossie. So I want to ask first, Flossie, what brought you into the helping profession? Because I joined the helping profession late, but it seems like you've been doing this for 29 years as a registered nurse. Tell me, what is BSN? I never know what that stands for.
Bachelor of Science in Nursing.
Nursing. Got it. Got it. Got
And
it. Okay.
just
And
to make it a synopsis, there was no plan to join that. That's a second career for me. It was
ah,
a second career for me. Having come from the old country, which is Kenya, that's what I call it, I had a different career. I was a flight attendant for the airline back in Kenya. But when I came into the United States, I had to pay bills.
yes, ma'am.
So somebody directed me towards nursing, not right away, of course.
Mhm,
And she said, you could do this thing. And I actually detail that in my book. How
mhm.
this lady called Maji told me you need to go to nursing school, and I didn't think there's anything I wanted to do because it's a second career. Plus, I'm thinking nursing is blood. That's what we think. Needles. That's what we think.
That's the
So
first thing I think of
yeah,
always.
I know. So anyway, she actually did. She nudged me, and she brought the books. And one night she said, "You are going to register for your LPN nursing school program. It's in my book. But let me tell you, when I started, I owe her so much. When I started from LPN, went to my RN, which we call like it is like a bridge program, because I didn't know exactly what I was doing.
Mhm.
Then went to my bachelor's. I was bridging onto the next program. It took me a total of 10 years.
Wow, that's
All
all.
along, I'm still working 12-hour shifts, going to school, going to work, sleeping 3, 4 hours a night. And I'm graduating with this one. I do my boards and I continue to work. Then I'm learning something else. Well, I think I need to do the next one. So I go, I bridge, and I do the same. So finally, it was to me just something to pay bills. I didn't really, so I tell people I became a nurse by default. And it is. And eventually it did not really click like this is my calling until when I actually got my nursing, my RN license. When I have my LPN, I'm like, this is just so much for me. I'm just like, gotta pass the medicines. I gotta do this. I don't really think I like it. I don't care for it. But as I went on and I realized that's not all it involves. It involves educating and empowering your patients, and they look at you like you got the information. Then I realized, okay, this is coming together. I'm gonna like this. I'm gonna like this. So finally, 10 years down the line, I got my bachelor's and continued working, and I started to like and love what I did. And so I've been doing that for 29 years. But as we speak, I call myself semi-retired because I have recently cut back of my nursing because I was working so many hours, so many shifts, 2 jobs for the longest time which is what ended up buying me a diagnosis because I was just working and working and working. And so now that I have done that, I work a little less now, which I'm calling semi-retired. But then what I do is I give the rest of the time to the community because I feel that's where my calling is as we speak. And I'm loving that every day. That's my jam right now. My missional passion has come from so many different ways. So that's
Yes,
how I
I love
started.
that. I
Yes.
love that so much. Svetlana said God knew where you needed to be. And that is
Oh,
so true. And I know from speaking to you that you are a believer and you believe that exactly what she's saying. And you know,
she
it's
knows me.
interesting because you say this was your second career. This is my girl, I can't even count which career this is for me because I have jumped all over the place doing tons of things and most always working as an entrepreneur because I realized early on that I don't work well with others. I don't take direction well in that regard. I just am a free spirit. And so I love that sometimes we don't know the path, right? We
Right.
don't know the answer, we don't know the direction, but we have to tune in. And when we do that, we get the answer. And so, and it may come in the form of a Margie. Is that her name?
Yes,
It may
yes.
come in the form of a Margie. For me, it was Yola because I just went online one night thinking, maybe I'll go and check out this. Maybe I'll think about going back to school. Clicked on a button, and boom, I was bombarded with emails and messages coming. Want to go back to school? Here's a school. Here's a school. And the next day, a young lady called me. She said she was from the University of Phoenix, and I was like, I live in California, and she's like, no, we have a California campus, and I was like, where? She goes, all over. Where do you live? And I told her, and she said, oh, Woodland Hills. And then she said, well, you should come in and meet me. And I was like, yeah, never did. Couple weeks go by. She's still calling me every couple of days. And then finally one day I was leaving my trainer's house and she goes, what are you doing? And I said, I just finished working out. And she's like, well, you need to come and see me. And I'm like, I'm all sweaty. She goes, just come. I said, oh, all right. And I went there and I sat down with her and I left enrolled in a master's program. So
Look at that. That's what your magic like. Oh my God, I
yes,
love that a lot.
yes. I came home and told my late husband, honey, I think I enrolled in a master's program. He goes, you think? And
Love
then
it.
here's the other thing. I actually was on my way on a musical tour. So I went on tour. We started out in where did we start out? Pennsylvania. Went all the way. No. This was the South. We started out in Georgia and Atlanta, LaGrange, Georgia, all the little towns in Birmingham, Montgomery, all these places. I kept signing um I kept making signing papers. They would fax them to me, and then I'd fax them back. I came back on the 26th of July. On the 27th, I went to the school, and on the 28th, I started class.
Oh, look at that.
And it totally changed my life. So it's something when you're living in your purpose. How do you connect the work that you do now, including what you have discovered, with your purpose?
Ooh, that's a big one because that's like what I live for every day lately. Um, Being a nurse was it's still, and it is always gonna be something that I really admire. But what I have learned in that profession, and then came my disease or my diagnosis, then came my successful reversal to my disease naturally. When I discovered all that and how they relate, and then the community, I realized that if I knew so much about, I say medicine because that's what nursing is about. So I thought had all that information, and I still was eating well. I thought because I was still cooking at home. Yes, don't get me wrong. I was still cooking at home. I was still juicing, but what I was doing, I was juicing the wrong stuff because I was juicing the produce I buy from the store and cooking the same produce. But I'm like, I'm not eating out. I'm cooking at home. But I didn't realize that there's food that has pesticides. Whether you cook it at home or not, it still got the pesticide. When you juice it or not, it still got the pesticides, which is even worse because it goes straight direct into your bloodstream. So you're bringing those pesticides and disease even more direct. I realized all that. Because people did say when I was diagnosed, how come you work out, you juice all the time, you bring your smoothie all the time, you're doing all this, you cook at home, you never go to the cafeteria at the hospital. We don't get it. So that's what I realized with my research. So when I realized I didn't even know that when I was actually a nurse, because I thought I was doing it, cooking at home and doing all those things, I started to think of the layperson or the person out there who doesn't even have that information, and they are like doing it that way, not even having a clue. And there it is. They're just eating the wrong stuff. They're just consuming the foods that have the pesticides. Who's gonna tell them? So I'm like, I guess God has decided it's gonna be me. How did he tell me that? By reversing, helping me reverse my own disease. It's like, okay, I'm going to do this for you so you can go and help somebody else, share with somebody else. And that's how it started my purpose. And I connected the two. And when I did that, Sean, let me tell you, a light bulb went up like bloop. It was like, it's like a whole different person. That's how I started to feel. I started to change so much. I changed my mindset. I started to change how I did things. I simplified things. I continued to do research. My research started my research started with the second opinion, because that's what I told my doctor I'm going to do once she presented all the medicines. And I said, I'll do that. And I did. And I even got a third opinion. And then it started with some little research in the process, nothing planned.
How much medication did they prescribe for you? I'm just
Well, it
curious.
was three different medications. I don't remember the names exactly, but they're in the book, but they were all lethal. When I tell you they were lethal, one of them I had to get my liver check every month. I know very well how that does. One of them is a chemotherapy pill that you can still take for cancer, but it also helps sarcoidosis because that was my disease. So yeah, but it's by mouth, it's a pill, which as a nurse, you have to double glove anyway when you give it to the patient. And the other one is it's a medicine that treats pneumonia, pretty strong. No, not pneumonia, TB, pretty strong. So all lethal. And I was
Oh
like,
my gosh.
all righty, this is not gonna work for me. So when I started that second and third opinion, started research that I didn't plan on, it started like this, went like that. And I was like, oh my God. And it became extensive. And then as it was becoming extensive, and I'm now like, oh my goodness, there is more from that medicine to something different. And I could try that on myself, because either the disease will take me or whatever the remedies I'm going to try will take me. So I got to decide.
Wow.
And so I became that guinea pig of my own self. And that's exactly where the purpose started to come. When they say your pain becomes your gain, not that I plan, that's exactly what happened. And
Wow.
I started to see, oh my goodness, okay, okay.
Wow.
That person doesn't know. That person doesn't know you can do this. And that. Maybe it's just me to tell that person.
Yeah. Well, William Seals says, I love the wisdom from the lady. I love it. And
You.
Lisa, extra early day and event tomorrow night, so I have to sign off. Yeah, she says, your guest is preaching nothing but the truth. Amen. Amen. Lisa, I love you, darling. Thank you for tuning in, and we will be in touch. Absolutely. Flossie, this is amazing, because the one thing that keeps resonating with me in your story is that you are a registered nurse. When you got this diagnosis, you were a registered nurse for many years at
Yes.
that point. And so you were doing all the things. You were juicing, you were eating well, you were working out, yet you still got this diagnosis. And I must give a shout out to Mr. Seals, because Mr. Seals eats organic only. Of course, every now and then, going into a restaurant or something, he may not, but his core food, yes, she says, absolutely. His core food intake is organic food. He introduced me to organic food. I changed nothing about the things that I ate. I didn't eat horribly. I ate pretty well. And like you, I was getting the vegetables, and I juice sometimes, and I definitely did the smoothies and all of that. But just eating real food But organic real food, I lost 7 pounds. I didn't change anything else, but 7 pounds came off my little body. And I was working out twice a week with Yolanda Martin Fitness, and she is no joke. And, some changes had definitely happened, but that change made the drop just like that.
Yes.
And I was like, whoa, wait a minute.
I'm enjoying it.
I've been kind of smirking at him, but he might be on to something. And so you're saying that you were doing all these things, but you were just going to the store and buying the produce out of the store and not paying attention to whether it was organic and fresh or any of that. And when you got this diagnosis, it shifted your mindset doing the research.
Yes. You
Uh,
have to remember, I'm from a country where we didn't know anything between organic and whatever else there is.
mm,
So for me, it was just we go in the back and pick up your kale and collard greens. Don't even rinse them off because we planned them ourselves. I was grown eating from the earth. Most of the stuff,
yes.
I planted them myself. I started doing
Mhm.
that when I was like 6 or 7. They'll be telling me, you do that little, you do that as little as you are. So I did all that. So I didn't know what is the difference, organic and what. We don't know that. I go pick up my green onions, bam, bam, I put it direct in the pot. My mom used to be cutting her kale like directly into the pot. There's no washing it up. She planted it behind the house. Come on now.
Goodness gracious. So
So
you know that soil, you know
I was
that
just,
earth.
yes. So I'm thinking
Yeah.
of cooking just like we did, but I didn't realize there was organic here and organic. I didn't know about all
Well,
that.
because here, if you don't go organic, you are getting
Yes.
whatever they subject us to. Hello, Dr. Daphne. Nice to see you. Thanks for tuning in and meet fabulous, flawless Flossie. Dr. Daphne is a wonderful, beautiful human on the planet, and she needs to get on to Boss Talk too in the near future. She says, hello. Hello. So, okay. So, Flossie, you did all this research, you made all these discoveries, and you shifted what you were putting in your body.
Yes.
Okay. So, tell us what happened.
So I learned about organic as I was doing my research. I learned about GMO. I learned about the pesticides, the dirty dozen, the clean 15, and all that, and the buying local and shopping local and conventional and your little farm down the street and what they're allowed to tell you and what they're not allowed to tell you, what they can't tell you, and they can get in trouble if they lie to you and all that. I learned about all that.
Oh,
But I'm taking so many notes in my head and pulling over. This is before we had the voice memo where you could record anything. And I'm listening to something sometimes on YouTube, and I'm like, oh, I gotta take that note. And I pull over and I write it down. I did it and I researched and I started to decide. And I got to where I decided, okay, I'm gonna try this. So as I was doing that, I started to experiment on myself. But before I did that, I back up a little bit. Is I remembered, stopped and thought for a moment. I was raised in a small village where we didn't have paved roads, no running, no amenities. Period. I didn't have to wear shoes until like I was 12 or 13. That's in my book too. It is true. And we are growing all these food and eating from the earth. So I'm like, okay, what did my mother do? Right?
right.
And I'm thinking she used to say, drink some warm water with salt and all those little things because we didn't have much. And I'm thinking all that. I'm like, okay, I can start doing some concoctions like that.
Mm.
So that's what I started researching, like the little herbs and the little spices and all that. And then I started putting them together. Then I said, but I need a village because that's all I know. Because when I came in this country, there was culture shock and food shock. That by itself was big.
Okay.
Okay, I got to tackle both. I'm trying to do the culture shock, okay? Learn to drive and all that, cross the street from the opposite side, all that. But now it's got the food shock, okay?
Mm.
And I started so I thought about how do I find a village or something like what my mother was growing?
Mm-hmm.
And damn, one day is what I'm thinking about stuff and doing my research. I thought of the Amish. I'm like, oh, I have known about the Amish. I've been to vacations and I bought their quilts and seen what they have. but that's not what I need. So
Mm.
long story short, I started research, and this is using the phone book.
The phone book.
Oh, aha! That's
How
what I'm
would
talking
those
about.
even work?
Yes, yes, yes. Well, it worked. There's no address for them, but I found where it says the community where they're at, which is where I went looking for them, not knowing
Mm.
my plan. But before I did that, I bought myself a freezer, a deep freezer. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but and I just thought this would be a white elephant, but whatever. So going to that village, going to that little town, that's how I started looking for the Amish. And I was looking for the Amish and I asked around and they kept directing me and directing me. And I detailed that in the book as well. Because finally, it took some work.
Mm-hmm.
It took a lot of uncomfortable moments. But I finally found a family that took me in because I told them when I drove into their compound that I am looking for what they got, which is what was in their garden because you could see it from the street. Those are dirt roads too. They're not dirt, they're sand. Their roads are
Yeah.
sand because it's deep in the village, like the white sand. And so they were like, okay, what do you need? And I told them, and I said where I came from. And everybody, including the little dog and the many kids, want to know what's going on. And I said what I was looking for. And they said, well, we can't be selling you this. This is for my family. He's there touching his beard. And I'm like, how about I tell you now I'm your family from today? And that's what she wrote. That's
Wow.
all. He said, I guess nobody has ever told him that. And I drove into his, you know,
I would
driveway.
imagine.
That's how it started. And so the rest is history. So I got the family. I even have a picture of the Amish in my book. They
Wow.
let you take pictures, by the way. I'm on their buggy and they let me ride, all that. So since then, I started. So I brought the village to me, the Kenya village. And that's why my book is called Village Vibes.
Yes, I love that.
The
I love it
connection.
so much. So you brought the village vibes from where you grew up to where you are now
Yes.
and to the rest of the world because now we can go and get that book. And shame on me, I have two of her books at my house waiting to be put into my bag to go out with me to come here today. So shame on
Right.
me, but I forgot. But I do, there it is. It's beautiful. Hold
And
it
that's me in
right
the back.
there. She is. Turn it around and hold it right there. Don't move. Right there is perfect. That is perfect. Svetlana says, Flossie, you don't even know how amazing you are. I would agree.
Oh.
It's beyond words how amazing this woman is.
Oh,
And
thank you.
just
I love her.
her
I love her.
story is so exciting because you went there. You did the research. You went above and beyond working for yourself, for your own self healing, but also it sounds like you always had in mind that you would share this healing, you would share it with others. So Brandon Hunter says Flossie's energy is pure inspiration and motivation for the best quality of life. Absolutely, Brandon. Thank you for tuning in to Boss Talk. And I hope that you hit that little subscribe button so that you can come again. Thank
Buddy,
you.
Brandon.
So Flossie, I'm fully amazed because so much of the time we will get a diagnosis, right? And after we, kind of come back from the shock of it, we align ourselves with whatever the doctors tell us. And we don't look any further.
Hmm.
And so I love what you've done for yourself and the world because you have proven that God put us here with everything that we need. And as I wrote the show notes and I talked about how, you can, if you're watching television and you catch a commercial and it's a pharmaceutical commercial and they're talking about a drug that's supposed to heal you and they give this long list of all the side effects, which is kind of like, well, if the disease don't kill you, this medicine surely, you know what I mean? And so, and it's certainly true that you don't get all the side effects. You might get some, somebody else might get some, and you might not get any, and all of that. But the other things that they tell you is this is poisoning your liver. it's impacting your kidneys and all these other things. And it's hard. It's really hard to step away from medicine because we've relied on it for so long, and we believe that that is the answer, which is why, my darling, you are exactly here for such a time as this, to really speak to what we have right here, right here. I love that so much.
That brings this point that really warms my heart, what you said about when this is a medicine you have been given and we think that's it. I have a program that I'm coming with, and I'm actually doing a little road test with a few people. I call it the 80-20. And 80-20 we can apply to anything. So
Right.
in my case, I apply my 80-20 in two ways. First of all, I apply to food because nobody's going to eat 100% organic, even I. Okay. But that's why I have the tea. We'll talk about that.
Yes.
But the other thing is the other 80-20 program that I'm working on, and I've started doing a pilot on that, is talking to the people or sharing with my community that you or I say I because I'm a medical personnel. The medical personnel does the 80% for you every single time, and you do the 20. What do I mean by that? You come to the doctor or you come to medical personnel and I'll meet and we tell you this is what you're going to take home. This is your procedure. This is your medicine. This is what you're going to take home. Come back, see me in 6 months, 3 months, whatever. And you go home and what you do, you follow that. You don't miss out on that medication or whatever it is. You don't skip it one time. You got it, you got it. Then you come back 6 months down the line and you are still either a little worse, maybe, or maybe you just,
Wow.
I don't know. So what is the word you hear? Usually it's the same sentence, but in a different way. If maybe the blood pressure is higher or whatever it is, the cholesterol has, they say, okay, how about we try this one? So it's like trying. Or maybe let's see how this one will work for you. It's always the same answer, but framed in a different way.
Let's try
Let's
this.
see. So think about just that response because that one didn't work. So, okay. Reason because it worked for 50%. You might not be among the 50%. But if you flip that and do the 80-20 and do the 80 and let me, the medical personnel, do 20,
Hot dog.
then you go home with all your prescriptions and your instructions and procedure down and go home and do 80 and take off running, get home, change how you do stuff, change your lifestyle, simplify. That's why I call my LLC Simple Life Healthier You Lifestyle. Simplify, use your mindset, change how you do stuff, come up with a routine every day that warms your heart, warms your soul. You don't have to go to the gym and do all that. Just walk to the shed and back. Drink an extra glass of water or half every day, increase that. Cut back on your salt a little bit, whatever, little bit. In other words, change a little bit more and do 80%. Research on that medication and find out the side effects. What is the contraindications? All those things. So you're now doing 80% and the medical person is doing 20.
Yes.
So when you go back in 6 months, what are you? Equipped. You're equipped with knowledge. You have made some changes, little ones, but they compound. And then maybe your blood pressure could be the same. That's an example, for instance. Or your cholesterol could be the same, or maybe a point lower. But look, you either stay on the same medicine, but you don't get an extra one for the side effects, or they don't try a different one.
Because your medicine.
They take it away. They take one away, or maybe the dose goes a little lower. Think about doing that every 6 months. So you're doing the 80-20 rule for you. How many of us do that? Absolutely. How many of us do that?
You're right. You're so right.
I never did that before I knew what I do. I did. This is my community jam. Those are the things, the little things that we take for granted.
Yes. And it's little. I call them teeny shifts.
Yes.
And so that's what I tell my clients. You come in with this big laundry list of what you want to change and what you want to be different. And if you do that and you come in here and you expect that I'm going to wave a wand and all of a sudden, poof, these things are going to have happened. No. But if you make any teeny shifts in your mindset, like you said, in your physical health, in your emotional mental health, in the habits that you form, then you will wake up one day and be like, whoa, I'm there, or I'm getting closer, or and I think that we have to lead definitely by example. And so I love you for doing the research and for checking it out. And Mr. Seals the same. Mr. Seals says, if Black men follow this lady's advice eating, there would be no prostate cancer nor erectile dysfunction. Wow.
Oh,
How about that? Dr. Daphne says, please define village vibe. It's a feeling, way of life, and existence, or a way of self care. Good
yes.
question. She says, yes, all those things, all of the above.
Yes, yes, because it simplifies. First of all, the Village Vibe book tells you about my story, tells you a little bit. Chapter 1 and 2 tells you about me. You got to know where I grew, how I grew up, where I grew up. It's not my autobiography, but it gives you a little synopsis about me, how I came in this country, tells you about my culture shock, food shock, and all that, and how I got into the American style and work and all. And I just started doing and doing, and I got in the hustle and bustle, and that's all I started to know. And little did I know I was leaving everything behind.
Mm-hmm.
And so what I want to say then, something just was coming here. It was recording what I'm saying. So yeah, so that's what it is. And then it tells you how my diagnosis came about, and then how I started to do my research, and how I went about, and then what I learned, and
Mm-hmm.
how I started, what I started to do, so that I can take care of me and see what I can change. And then how I started to simplify my mindset. I mean, my life, and change my mindset and make it a lifestyle. And I did a lot of negative things that I took them a little bit to the side. That you have to do little by little, and all that, because that also interferes in your whatever
Mm-hmm.
you're going through. You have to get rid of all those roadblocks or barriers.
Yeah, yeah.
Let me say, yeah,
So that's part of the vibe. Then it sounds
yes,
like it is a
mhm,
feeling. It's feeling better, but it's the mindset shifting. It's creating a new way of life, like Dr. Daphne said, and that creates a new existence. And it is all about self care. So I love that you asked that question, Dr. Daphne. Thank you. And Mr. Seal says, I also believe that breast cancer with Black women would almost be eradicated. Yes, yes. There's so much. I mean, the diagnosis that you got, Flossie, sarcoidosis, was the very diagnosis that Bernie Mac had, and
mhm.
that is the diagnosis that caused him to leave this planet. Hello, Sora Rhonda. Good evening. Very informative. You are correct. The foods we eat today are the cause of most physical and mental conditions that we suffer from today. Amen. Absolutely. And I have to do a little something, Flossie. I want you all of you out there, to join me as we wish my girl Gigi a happy birthday. Yes, hi, ladies. So here we go. Let's sing to her. Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
happy
Happy
birthday
birthday to
to
you.
happy
Happy
birthday, dear
birthday, Gigi.
Gigi. Whee! Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
and many more.
I love it, love it, love
Happy birthday, beautiful.
it.
She
Love
says,
it.
"Ah, thank you." Yes.
Mhm.
Let's see. And someone else said, Svetlana said, happy birthday. Let's see. Yvonne said, I'm definitely making my little steps and expecting greater for myself. Thank you. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Yvonne. I think that that's what we have to do. We have to want better for ourselves. And I think sometimes we don't know how to get it. But what you're saying to us, it is right at our little fingertips. It's right here in the earth. right in the earth. I love that. I love it so much. So you have been, um, you have your book, and I know that recently you were on Fox TV 2. Is that right?
Yes.
Yes. And who is the young lady that interviewed you? She is delightful.
Actually, I've been on Fox 2 twice. The
Ah,
first one is Chelsea.
oh,
Chelsea interviewed me. And then the recent one is called T. Mizell. The second one, T. Mizell came to the kitchen and to see the process.
ooh, I
And
love
he
it. So
was
I
live.
saw the Chelsea one.
Yeah, the other one, he came live and he went on the news as live as we were doing it.
Yes.
The other one, I went to the studio, but he came to see the process. We talked about it. He saw how we did it. They put it on the news, and it was delightful both ways.
Yes. So,
Yes.
how has your life changed since this process? Because I want to get to how you came up, and we don't have very much time. So, let's tell us quickly how you came up with the turmeric tea and turmeric tea Mondays.
Okay. Real quick, turmeric tea happens to be one of my many, many remedies. When I say many, I mean many. Because I was concocting, like I said, a lot of different things. I have a lot of herbs I was working with, and I made myself the guinea pig. And
Hmm.
I sure could tell because I was getting my lab drawn pretty often. And I knew how to read labs. I could tell when they were coming down, they were dwindling, and all that good stuff. And I could start to feel a little better until I went back to my doctor and everything was negative. So I could tell. So I started to share with my friends. Just like I did with my book, they were my better readers, they become my better tasters. And they were trying, my friends, my family, and I give a lot. And they started telling me, oh, it feels better. You give me this. You give me ginger shot. That feels good. You give me the sea moss. Oh, Flossie, I love it. The moringa. Oh, my God. Oh, the turmeric tea. Oh, my God. And on and on. So it was something that come get from my house or I drop it off or whatever. What you have this time? What's in your freezer? And two of my friends one time said, like, you know what? We gotta sell, you gotta sell one of your products because you just keep giving us and it's been helping us. I feel my body's better, my swelling is gone down, my pain is better, blah blah blah. I said, yeah. They said, okay, but you gotta give this to the people. I said, yes, I can do that. But they said, no, not the way you do. You want to sell your product because you're going to reach out a lot of people because you just give and give. And so two of my friends, I remember one came, she took, her name is Dr. Stoma, and she said, this is going to have to go to somebody. We're going to take a picture. She took a picture sitting on my kitchen table. We posted the picture and it said, try me
Oh.
on Facebook. By the way, I didn't join Facebook until 2020. But this was 2021. She put it, try me. And that was it. And then I started getting DMs. By the way, I'm just learning what DMs are at that moment. Like, what?
Right.
So it says, so okay, how do we get this? How much is it? And I'm texting, I'm like, you started this. And then I have another one called Lauren. And I said, you guys, what am I gonna do? You told me to do this. How much is it gonna be? What am I gonna put it in? In a Ziploc? In a cup? I don't know.
In a
I'm
Ziploc.
researching mason stuff, and then I go to Walmart and getting my mason jars, and I'm measuring my cups, and I'm measuring, and then I finally put $20. She said, "Say $20 for half a gallon, and when they bring it back, you can give it 25 so that they bring back the mason jar." I said, "All right." So I went back a few days later. I think it was a Friday, so like that Saturday was whatever, and I said, "Okay, you can pick it up on Monday from this time to this time." I think it was from 5 to 7 because most of them were my friends, so they know my address. And I had just retired from the hospital I worked at for 21 years, so they knew they were wanting to know where I'm at. So I figured they'll find me. So they came to pick up the tea in mason jars. I got some, I sanitized them. I'm learning how to do that. And so when they came after that, people continue and they won't leave because they haven't seen me for a while. So we here talking, and my driver was jammed. Okay. And I'm like, this I just want to catch up. So then people continue during the week. We need the tea. We heard about it. And we heard about it. And I started saying, maybe next week. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe next week. And then it came to the end of the week and I said, how about you try next week, Monday? And they said, okay, they would say yes. And I kept texting that because the first time I did was on Monday. And then one day I said, you know what? I'm going to call it 2 TM, Turmeric Tea Monday. And that's what I did. So Turmeric Tea Monday was born in a messenger from my kitchen. And so I started posting on Facebook on Saturday to remind people to order the tea, but they would text me and DM me nonstop and call me and call me. And it became exhausting. And I'm buying messengers and messengers. I'm sanitizing them. Some of them are not bringing them back. And so I am continuously buying messengers. And now it got to the point I have to connect with them and drop it off, and some will pick it up, but I'll meet them at like a plaza. I drop it up to their house. And I was driving a lot on Mondays. It got to be quite a bit. And so people started texting now and calling me. How can we saw this on Facebook because I was cooking it from home and taking pictures in my little kitchen and blah blah blah. Look at what TTM is doing. So they're like, can you ship it to us? Can we need it? We want it. So finally, I'm like, oh my God, I guess we can do that, but how do we do? So I started researching on that. But with that came something bigger. I had to find out about licenses, health department, how I had
Mhm.
to take classes. They're
Wow.
called Save and Save, something like that, all that. I had to think about insurance. I had to research bottles for days. Well,
Wow.
bottles have no BPA. I was going to do glass bottles. I couldn't afford those. It's too much to sanitize. My place is little. But all that came with a big picture. I have to find a commercial kitchen. That's the law.
Mhm.
That was big. It became pretty expensive. And so I had to do that because I needed to give that address and the insurance for that. And I did. And with that, I started getting, and I would get the bottle sent in, and I'm trying, and then I had to do labels and nutritional facts. It
Wow.
has to go together. So
It's
I
a
had to
whole
research how
thing.
to do all that and do the math. And I'm measuring my recipe in my old school way. I'm from the village. I'm just doing my spoonfuls. Excuse me? I know. I'm like, how do I do the math? Well, I got a girl to help me. I tell you, she helped me. And so we got the nutritional facts. And I was like, if I lose, I told her, if I lose my pots today, because I know the size of pots, because I went from a little pot, a big pot, I had a bigger pot. I have three big pots.
Wow.
I will know because that's what I go by. And so we worked around that size of the pots, and we got the nutritional facts and everything else. And I'm like, okay, we got honey because I get my honey from the army. She's 100% raw honey. I don't do no sugar, no perishable, none of nothing. So
Wow.
that's how we got that. And then we started packaging. But by the time we get the right bottles to go with that, it took a long time. And the logos. And then because my business is Simple Life Healthy ULLC, the turmeric tea started taking over. And
Mm.
so now I have two logos because that's what
Oh, that's how
my
you have to
business.
do it. Okay, I've seen them both. Right.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
I want to show, I want to see what Mr. Seals is saying, and then I want to show the boss talkers your the photo that you sent me. Mr. Seal says, I was once riddled with a lot of health problems, but eating organic erased them all. We are organic in creation, so we should eat organic food. Amen.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, boss talkers, I want to show you Flossie in her process. So bear with me here just a moment. Let me see how I can find this. Aha. Yes, yes. Here we go. So this is Flossie's turmeric tea, and there she is. Experience the natural health benefits of the world's superfood spice, turmeric. Anti-inflammatory, immune system, joint pain, indigestion, sleep, and much more. And there's her packaging, her beautiful bottles, and hydration that heals the body, hydrating, anti-inflammatory, cancer fighter, lowers cholesterol, fights diabetes. Find out more at www.flossiesturmerictea.com. So y'all write that down so that you can have that and get to know what it is that Flossie is cooking up in her kitchen, in her commercial kitchen. Let's get it right. Rhonda Sora Rhonda says, "Oh, that's Brian Peterson. Brian Peterson, hello, cousin. Welcome to Boss Talk tonight. And he says, health is wealth. And that is
Right there.
100%. Ah, love it. So, oh, you got swag over there. I love it. So, what else do you have in your arsenal of things that you provide?
Well, I provide a lot of other things, but I like to go just to niche on the tea because I'm one man show and
Hmm.
it is so much work. And recently I did a show. I told you I had the Fox 2 News come to my kitchen
Right.
and I realized how it opened the floodgates. That's what I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
It opened the floodgates. I had so much to do. And this mission, which is a mission of passion, I could not cope. I am a delivery person that delivers every Monday. Harold is the most and the best person I've ever seen. He knows my vision. He did deliveries for 2 days straight. It's never been. I had shipments over 36 in one day. I cooked. I had neighbors and friends calling me, texting me, and coming to do bottle parties, labeling parties, sanitizing parties, helping me in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot. So I have to stay with one. However, that's my main one. On the other side, I do a lot of other things. I
Mm.
do sea moss, which I get from Kenya. I make that. I
Ah.
do ginger shots. I make bone broth because when I go to the Amish, and if anybody's vegan, I'm sorry, but they got the bones, the meat that's grass fed. So I get the bones. It's grass
Mm.
fed. We need some collagen.
Yes,
I
indeed.
make bone broth fantastic. I boil it. My house smells like a butcher when I do that. I do that. I have moringa that I use. I have something else called garlic infusion that I make. I make a lot of other concoctions
Wow.
on the side. But the tea is my main one for right now in my book because I want to be able to give my all and my heart. And I'm recently just came up with my second flavor because I started with this flavor right here, which is my original. I call it my original. This one right here.
Okay, hold it, move it a little bit. I want them to be able to see it. You got to move it back. Ah, shoot. I think the light is hard to get. Uh, nope, not yet. Bring it closer to the screen then, maybe. Oh, I know we can't see the. Oh, there it is.
There it is.
I
Okay,
think. Oh,
perfect.
we're getting a little bit of it, but not really.
But
But we saw it
this
on
is
that. Okay.
that's the carrier. So it's actually just a regular flavor, and then the other one that I do, I have my second flavor that I launched like 3 months ago is the mint flavor, and this is fresh mint. This is
Oh,
the other one. It's green.
now that we can see. Very good.
Now
Okay.
you see. Okay. Yeah, and
I like.
yes, so that's what I'm working with right now because it keeps me pretty busy, extremely busy.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and because everything I'm doing it except for my friends that come and help me, I gotta clean, sanitize, bottle, label myself, And I when I go to the kitchen, I started used to go at 6 in the morning every Sunday night, Monday morning, 4, 5. Now I go at midnight, and I'm there all night cooking the
Wow.
tea, singing to the tea. I'm actually want to come up with a turmeric tea anthem, so I can be singing when I'm cooking because that's all I'm doing.
Well, you know what? You should talk to Wayne, who did my theme song. He's great at it.
Love
He'll
it.
come
I
up with
love it.
the song for you. So let's see. Flossie's turmeric tea.com, y'all. So that's where you can get your tea delivered directly to you. And I would say that I've tasted it. I have not yet because it is home. It came after I left the house to come here. And I actually, want to speak to following your first mind because my first mind when I saw the mailman was to go down there and get my things. And I got a message saying that it was delivered. So I missed out on it, but I will be drinking it when I get home. And Flossie, I really appreciate just the timing of this because my personal journey is I stopped taking high blood pressure medicine over a year and a half ago. Stopped taking it and changed my diet and was managing my blood pressure. And then I went and they said it was high and they prescribed the medication and I started taking it, but I'm not happy with taking it. And so I'm going to do the 80/20. So
This
thank you.
will do the trick.
And
I have a lot of testimonials.
yes,
Yes. Yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because I don't want that. I don't want that stuff in my body and my kidneys and all of that. I am a woman of a certain age. And so we have to be really careful about how we do what we do. We have to be wise, y'all. So we're not telling you all to go throw your doctors away and throw all your medication away or any of that. But consider what it would be like if you actually put what God intended into your body and eat from the earth. Dr. Daphne says blessings in your endeavor. So I am so excited for you. I saw that interview and I was like, there's no way that this woman is not getting ready to blow up. So there's more down the road for you, my dear Flossie. So before you go, I put up your I put the book website, I put the book up. I got the link, but I don't know what's been happening. But this extra thing keeps popping up as I share links. That's opens in a new tab. Take that off of this link. I want y'all to copy this link, paste it, but take off the opens in a new tab. It ends at details. And go right directly to Flossie's book. Hold it up again, Flossie.
Actually, they put Village Vibes. It comes right up.
Oh, okay. There it is.
Oh, on
That's how
Amazon,
I actually got it.
it
Yeah,
comes
that's
right up.
comes
Yes.
right up. Put Village
Mhm.
Vibes in the search on Amazon, and you too can have this book with
You
all.
can't miss that lady.
Uh,
You can't miss that lady. Look at her.
that's right. There she is.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And so Yvonne says, thank you so much. God's blessings always. Thank you, Yvonne. I hope you subscribed and I hope you'll come on back. Thank you for tuning in tonight. So, Flossie, this has been such a joy and such a treat and such an educational experience. So, thank you for that. We appreciate you. We love you. Y'all know that this is your girl, Sean LeRae, and I am here every single Wednesday at 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. And you all can come and meet some of my amazing friends. And it's always good to be here with y'all. You can connect with me at livinglovedhealing.org for therapy if you want coaching, learn some business strategies, find out why you're stuck and why you're not getting where you want to be in your life, in your business, in whatever it is. Contact me at livinglovedcoaching.com. And if you want to donate to my nonprofit, the William Joseph Brinkley Center for Cultural Affirmation, where we will provide mental wellness programs that affirm people of color, then go to www.wjbcenter.com. And if you want to be right back here next week, we are live here on YouTube. Oops, let's see. Nope, that's not what I want. I want this. And why is it not coming out? Oh, because I didn't get rid of the other one. Let me do that. I figure this out as we go. Rhonda says, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yvonne says she will be back. Yay. And Gigi says, thank you, Flossie.
Thank you.
We love that. We love it, love it, love it. So you can find us here. I don't know what's happening. Oh, there it is on the bottom. On Wednesdays, join us at Boss Talk LA on YouTube, and you can just put the @ sign in YouTube search and put Boss Talk LA. Tell your friends and subscribe, and please hit that bell for reminders. So, Flossie, we're a little over time, but you have dropped so much wisdom tonight that we're just going to let you go ahead, because I always like for my guests to leave the Boss Talkers with a short, quick 30-second blurb of what you want them to know and remember and take away from tonight's show.
Okay. I can do that real fast. I got one little short one, but it is so full of weight. Weighs a lot. I call it the 3 C's. 3 C's. Choice. Whatever choice you want to make about yourself, your body, your life, whatever it is. Finance, I don't care. Whatever, just you. Commitment. That's the second C. That particular one, I wear it on my bracelet. It's right here. Okay. The third one, this one is big. consistency.
Ooh, I
Make
love
the
it.
choice, whatever choice. Forget the size, quality versus quantity. Make the choice. But don't just leave yourself hanging. Commit to that and be consistent in small doses.
Mm.
Move the needle every time and it will all compound. And I promise you, whether it's what you eat, don't go crazy and go organic overnight. It's good, but we can't all afford at the same time. Keep
Mm-hmm.
your life simple, simple life healthier. You're healthy, but a little healthier lifestyle. You're not going to get overwhelmed. Don't go all crazy like I got to buy all this at one time or I got to do food prep at one time, little by little. That's what I do. Questions, I can help you with that. I have programs that I do. I do them to my community, for my community. It's just something that warms my heart. It's not going to rob the bank. It's not going to rob you of your time. None of that. It will become a lifestyle before you know it. That's all I got.
I love it. Thank you. Yvonne loves it too. So, once again, y'all, the 3 C's. 1 is choice, 2 is commitment, and 3 is consistency. You heard it here first. And we want to just thank you once again, Flossie, for joining us on Boss Talk. You've been an amazing guest, and I love you dearly. So stay with me as we say goodnight to the Boss Talkers. So good night, y'all. It's your girl, Shawn LeRae, and I'm going to play my theme song so y'all can jam. And I want to shout out once again Wayne Lindsay and Alana Lindsay for my amazing theme song. So y'all know what to do. Live loved and shalom, y'all. Peace. So listen as they play us out.
Thank you so much. This is awesome.
Thank you, Yvonne.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. So this has been Buzz Talk with your girl, Shawn LeRae, every week, Wednesday, 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 8 o'clock Central Time, and 9 o'clock on that East Coast. We will be right here. Go to @Boss Talk LLC. Search us up. Go ahead and subscribe, and don't forget, hit the little bell so you can get those reminders when we go live. And thank you so much for joining me. Beautiful, amazing, wonderful, brilliant guests. Plus, be part at www.bosstalk.com. Woo! Thank you. Thank you. It's a great. Good night. Thank you. Peace.